They just kind of know how to handle it with those Chaos Bolt pressures. I'm looking at specs. I don't see anything really out of the ordinary here. I can't see the second Hunter spec, but
where's HB? I don't know. I don't know where HB is. I'm trying to find him. I don't know where HB is. Priest
that's definitely
the frontliner. Shaman and Shaman are the healers.
Yeah, that's Nature on Boomkin, and that's
MVQ on FC.
Yeah, definitely. So interesting.
And then, of course, the Death Sherlock is Flamer.
Most definitely. And I was expecting GSC to maybe pull something out of left field here. Maybe they took some advice from the Kush warlord of Eastern Orgrimmar himself, McCash Dollar, aka Yorkie, aka McTrash Dollar. But I don't know. Maybe they're saving that for a later game. This is just the first game of this series. They have time to do that, so no rush on those McTrash Dollar strategies there.
All right, here we go. The initial mid-fight is going to be nuts. Keep an eye on Chaos Bolts hitting up at the end of the Rens, topped with a Keg Smasher, even sometimes just a Star Surge. I've been on the back end of this composition, and it is not fun. Of course, the one weakness that they do have is that they've got 3 healers, so that means that objectively, they won't be able to send one healer back and still have 3 healers in mid. They'll have 2 healers in mid, and that's a lot easier to push out of GY with. But based on the strategies have been going around pushing around ramp, it could not actually be a factor at all. So here we go. Mid-fight comes out. Boomy actually playing... that is...
Okay, let's go. Already coming out onto Wushu. He's going to drop down to 50%, Muskie, while the Warrior of GSC gets a double Crusader proc, actually. So they're going to put a major amount of pressure onto this team of SR right now. They're diving into the backline. All the Rens going out, all the damage going out. This GSC team is ferocious right now.
Yeah, Knickknack's doing a good job of keeping them back, though. He does get Wild Charge rooted in the back line, so he's going to be the next target. Let's see, where are these bullets coming out? There we go, on to the Warrior, and Knickknack's going to be A-OK. Flags picked up by both FCs, and GSC not dominating as much as we expected. We're going to have to keep an eye on this because they are still pushing them back, but nobody's been wiped.
A fantastic job by skill ratios healers of oh no, but as I say that, Pizza goes down, just getting swapped to. Absolutely no time to react to that Ren swap. That was amazing. GSC Warrior just getting multiple Crusader procs. That's 3 Crusader procs in a row. He's a true Warrior. He's getting so much damage out right now. Knickknack dropping down to 50%, getting just pulled back up. They are barely holding on here as those Chaos Bolts go out into that front line. Flamer doing his utmost to put out that damage. Wushu dropping down as well. The front line of SR is doing their best to keep up at the moment.
Yeah, and Pizza is back in this mid-fight now, and I am getting info from chat that, of course, it is HB. He's got the HB monitor on, so I guess him and MVQ are named the exact same. And it's not over yet because GSC is still holding on to this mid, whereas skill ratio, they're trying to get these Rents out, they're trying to push up. Take a look at Pizza dropping those Starfires in, but we also got to keep an eye on Flamer as well. It's all about these bolts, and GSC starting to get pushed back pretty hard here.
And we say it's all about these bolts, but it's all about these fears that are coming out from Flamer as well. He's stopping so much pressure from this front line. As you can see, Wushu actually dropping down to 0%, just dying in that front line.
The bolt didn't even actually come out there. The bolt would have been on top of that. It didn't go. Here's another one on a Nick. He gets taken to about half. The root comes out as well from Hunter, aka Boomy. And Lucas in the front line on that Warrior trying to put out as many Rens as he can. You know how this guy is. Let's see. He's probably going for a 600k game, I gotta say. Coming back still, being CC'd, not getting super deep, which is something that, might have an impact on this. Lucas usually is in that backline.
Most definitely. He is in that backline, but I think his healers have understood that, he needs to be sort of conservative here until they get kills. Now, just to clarify, this is the Warrior on the GSC team named Priest. He's diving into the backline as much as he can with his Brewmaster. As you can see here, the Brewmaster diving in, the bolts coming out on Repulse, a Keck Smash going out, but not enough to take him down. One thing to notice, Muskie, is that SR healers are actually running kind of right now. Both Repulse and Maniac are sitting sub 20% mana right now, so this is trouble.
Dark Tree looked like he was going for the cross, and both Hunters are peeling back. GSC mid is still stable right now. Will they be able to hold on long enough? They're getting pushed hard now. Ezreon going deep. He's going to just try and get by and try and meet Dark Chewy and help him out. Grizzle probably doing the same. No, Grizzle's in mid, but regardless, Ezreon's fighting ESC off to the side right now. He should be able to catch heals before he goes down. Dark Chewy kiting around the base. He did pick up boots. He's coming out GY. Looks like Boomy's hot on his tails. Maniac has gone down for skill ratio.
But Dark Fury is just about to meet Grizzle right here. That is a huge mistake by GSC for letting Grizzle get around so easily like that. He's being contested now, but Ezron has actually somehow gotten a little bit of distance as well, pushing up. So Dark Chewy, I believe, is going to be completely fine here, switching to Bear Form, taking the longer route to get to his team. He is being caught up to. However, this Warlock of GSC is pushing up as hard as he can. The Green Glob of Death almost going to be set off right here. Oh, he ranges it. Close one. Grizzle about to go down right here, but he's going to be saved by his healers. SR trying to stabilize now.
All right, so skill ratio, even though they are having trouble in mid, they are getting their FC across, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. Let's see where it transitions from here. Dark Tree should be able to make it up tunnel. It is 6 stacks, so he's in that bear form. He had to go. That's why he was in bear form. HB, on the other side, he's pushing up with his team as well. It's going to be, the ball is in GSC's court right now. They need to prevent as many as they can from going up tunnel. They need to be able to set this up in their advantage. However, BM, that Shaman, pushed up a little bit, got pushed back. The frontliner of skill ratio, it both down right now.
Both down, actually.
Grizzle and Ezron are pushing up tunnel. They both get up there. That's just, at the moment, 2 people up top of that GI right now.
And right now, the Hunters of GSC actually realize that they need to go around, so they're both going to be pushing around that ramp side. I believe that's EFC on the Hunter grabbing Zerker. So they're going to try to make some sort of at least poke or maybe some sort of soft push onto Dark Fury right now. I don't think he's in complete trouble at the moment because all of his team is up at this point. So his healers are in range. He's totally okay at the moment as long as he doesn't make any major mistake.
Yeah, they have sent the Shaman, though, so that's 2 healers in mid for GSC, like I was talking about. This is an opportunity where if they're able to stabilize this push up top, they should be able to push out of bottom as well. Look at the healers of skill ratio, though. They're all the way down in the GY. They haven't wiped. They haven't died. They kept them alive. They're all pushed back in the corner. They're all stacked. GSC is going to push in here and find some huge keg smashes. Look at Saxon pushing in. He wants to go for it. Just got to be patient. Just got to be patient. Dark Chewy taking a lot of damage. BM has pushed up. They're really putting in so much pressure. Here's the keg smash from Saxon. He's going in deep. Lots of pressure. Watch for those globals to come out, the racials. And maybe they can find a kill on skill ratio onto Dark Chewy. He's coming up at 100% increased damage right now. Pizza has gotten up there as well, putting out some Star Surgers. They're making this push back off a little bit, and maybe skill ratio is able to defend. However, Knickknack has gone down in the midfield.
Skill ratio trying to play as defensive as they possibly can right now while maintaining some sort of mid presence. Have a Grizzle dropping down to low HP at the moment. Wushu taking a lot of damage in the front line as well. Grizzle almost going down. Grizzle going to die there. He might be able to just get a body res at the moment, but he's still going to be down below. So that's a little bit of help, but not as much, obviously. So Dark Chewy taking a lot of damage. He's dropping down to 10%, getting pulled back up. His healers doing their utmost to bring him.
Nature's up there.
Just waiting to get that pick. Nature's up there trying to get a 5-point bite. Nature forced to drop. Half of skill ratio is dead right now. Dark Chewy going down, and that's going to be returned.
It looks like the flag has been dropped by HB here. HB picks the flag up, waits till Grizzle gets there, and then is probably going to displace it into his team. What a play by HB. Seeing that come in from Grizzle, expertly handled, and that should be a cap for GSC. We've got a replay. Let's go through it. Obviously, Nature gets up there. He does land the bite out and pops back down. He thought they could get it, and then you see, obviously, ESC hopping in there. Perfectly timed to get that return. And, you know, again, I gotta say, damn, HB, that was a sick play on Grizzle.
That was a great job by GSC for maintaining right now. As you can see, Dark Chewy trying to get around, actually, right now. It looks like he may have been pulled out of stealth. Yeah, he's in travel form at the moment, so they're a little bit delayed in terms of getting a repick right now. So this isn't looking super well for skill ratio at the moment. They're going to try to push out into mid at the moment. Wushu getting feared a lot, so the Warlock of GSC doing a great job of peeling. Oh, a lot of damage actually being put onto one of the priests of GSC, but he's in a Goblin Racial out, so mid is completely stabilized right now.
Yeah, there was a lust there by Saxon as well. They're collapsing very hard, though. Lots of AoE damage is going to come out. Racials, everything. You can see Saxon being pushed way back. Lucas coming way back. He got a Satyr, though, so those rents are going to start to hurt. It's not over yet. Look at Wushu Yang dipping very low. Nick's now the target. Grizzle coming in again for a War Stomp. Maybe he can find it. EFC has picked up the flag in the meanwhile. So they're down numbers in mid. HB is coming back in a second. And skill ratio still not able to find anything. GSC, I don't think, has had a single death this entire game.
GSC doing a great job of maintaining. However, they are suffering in their awareness here. Grizzle getting around, but one of the hunters is there to meet him. Luckily, she's wearing all Sam's at the moment, so Grizzle is at a little bit of an advantage right now. He's wearing a little bit less health, so it seems like he might die. Ezron there to help him out. They might see a first aid trade here, but Ezron's low HP as well. Grizzle going to try to make it back to his team. He just has to play defensive at the moment, but Ezron actually getting around, not being contested at all. Great job by them on doing that switch.
Yes, he's on him. Yes, he's on him.
He's on him, though, so that cutoff might not work, actually. So Chewy has no one meeting him at the moment.
Sokka with the perfect shield. The awareness from Sokka is always fantastic, able to keep his hunter in this game. And this is going to prevent it from being a 2-cap, because Dark Chewy needs to get over there and help his team get out of this position. He needs to just clear this area right now. ESC is meeting Dark Chewy. Boomy is coming over to root Dark Chewy. The root comes out. Just one, though. He's out of range for the next. And Dark Chewy should be okay to make it back to his team.
Yeah, actually, that was 2 roots that came out. Dark Chewy canceled the first one, so an immediate reapply of that root. He was only able to get those 2 across. They weren't enough to get onto Dark Chewy, so the team of GSC having to just sort of stabilize at the moment again, wait for the stack game essentially to push back out. So Dark Chewy actually realizing that he's helping his team out in mid, healing it up. One thing to note, however, some of the healers of GSC are suffering on mana, so this might be some trouble.
Yep, Shaman dipping down to 10%. He's got about 100 mana, and he's actually the target now. He's getting pummeled.
A green cloud attack on the Wushu. He's going to drop down 1% to 0. That's it. The front line of skill ratio just suffering so much from this Warlock here.
Yeah, I mean, we've been in this position ourselves. That front line just gets absolutely smashed by those Chaos Bolts, by those Rens, by the coordinated damage coming out from GSC here, and they will push back into skill ratio once again. This could be the setup for the second cap.
Yeah, this is definitely a lot of trouble for SR right now. They're trying their best to just stabilize in mid at the moment, and there's such little they can do at the moment because their hunters cannot peel around for whatever reason. Like, they're just being constantly cut off, and I think that's good awareness by GSC right now, just sort of holding them in there, using their map awareness to kind of control the map.
BM is back, but the Warrior goes down at the same time, so skill ratio still down a foot, and it looks like Wushu Yang is very, very close to going down as well. They get a great swap on a BM, though. Unfortunately, not quite enough damage to target that, and Wushu Yang is forced to roll on out, and he's definitely in a lot of trouble here. Let's see if we can get an execute out onto him. Both Blurus and Sokka, Maniac and Repulsed healing Wushu Yang right there, and you can see Lucas pushing in, going for those Rens. This is a snowball effect in mid now. Grizzle dips very low, down to about 1%, gets topped up.
Blur's dropping to a Chaos Bolt as well, so just a lot of damage still coming out from GSC. They are relentless with this Warlock. I mean, the amount of swaps on this Warlock have been so little so far. I think they maybe swapped him maybe 2 or 3 times. Maybe they just can't push to him, or whatever the reason might be. But that Warlock is just wrecking havoc into the front and back line of SR.
Yep, they actually are getting a push back again. Somehow, skill ratio is holding on in this fight and not getting wiped completely. They have deaths after deaths after deaths, but it doesn't matter because there's been no real control from GSC to capitalize on and find another cap. It's coming up to 5 stacks now. They really wouldn't have sent anybody around before 5 stacks. Shaman, actually, the priest goes down.
But Shaman, actually, that's going to be a counter kill, though, because Knick-Knack is very close to dying. Wushu is already dead, so GSC had a chance to kind of answer with 2 deaths there. However, GSC kind of just trying to stabilize at the moment while their priest gets res and comes back out. As you can see, they're not really moving back towards the graveyard at the moment, so I think they're pretty confident that they can maintain this pressure, whatever they might have as they build the stack game. Dark Chewy just kind of comfortably sitting up there on top of graveyard, realizing he doesn't need to drop yet. They're sending nothing to contest him, so that's a good call by them to just kind of stay conservative right now.
Beautiful play by these hunters, cutting off this tunnel as best they can. They prevented Ezron from moving up, and now they're working on Grizzle, who looks like he might actually get up tunnel right now. But ESC is already flanking around on a Dark Chewy and actually forces him down off of Graveyard. One hunter just positioned perfectly, saw Ezron and Grizzle splitting, trying to go up tunnel. He leaves it for one hunter and cuts around and is able to completely screw up the defense that skill ratio was trying to set up. And that one hunter, just by himself, has completely changed the pace of this game.
No, that was a great call by them, actually. So Grizzle actually being able to meet with his FC now in the back there, just sort of playing defensive. One of the hunters of GSC grabbing a Zerker buff at the moment, but choosing to stay in mid as SR ferociously tries to push out. And GSC just is doing a great job of sort of respecting that pressure. Obviously, no one on GSC is dead at the moment. Actually, I spoke too soon. Priest, the brewmaster of GSC, has gone down. A green glob of death going down, but nothing happening to SR at the moment. So they are doing their utmost to push out right now.
Yeah, SR, like you said, those healers are low on mana. Great charge interrupting that Goblin jump from Knickknack means they're still able to put a lot of pressure out onto that second Priest. But here comes Saxon. He's back. Is he going to be able to prevent his team from getting pushed back any further? Because if you take a look, Harvest Lord is heading up, obviously, to the top of GY. If they can avoid getting put in that situation where they're in their own GY, skill ratio is going to go for that flank, I do imagine. And that's really where the Warlock does start to get in trouble. He's not going to have time to sit 3 seconds and cast a Chaos Bolt. Dark Chewy heading back to his own base. He knows the only person he needs to keep an eye on is those Hunters and that Boomkin, who are both in mid right now. So, skill ratio. If they can completely wipe GSC, they have an opportunity to flank around. And actually, they're just leaving those guys that are down there right now. Instead of wiping them up, they already tried to back off. And Lucas is not letting them do that. Lucas is pushing up, eating 3... roots there from Pizza and the barrels and everything, but they're preventing them from completely splitting around. Their BM is still stuck there. What is GSC going to do with their defending forces on top? They've got a BM, or they've got a Shaman in the graveyard, and they've got 2 Hunters around. Keep an eye on this mid fight from skill ratio, because they've completely thrown their advantage right now unless they're able to make something happen up top.
Yeah, skill ratio trying to drop in, disengaging Grizzle with Sergeant Pizza and Ezra, and Grizzle with the Zerker buff, trying to go onto the FC at the moment. 12 stacks right now, but there are healers with GSC's FC, so they're going to be completely fine at the moment. This push, while aggressive and possibly could have resulted in something, it just didn't work out because they had healers positioned there already to stop that.
Okay, so we did see Pizza and the rest of them go around, and they dropped in there. Sokka was with them. Sokka got caught out of position. So GSC, by catching them before they were able to get around, they actually avoided any punishment in their GY, any split up, anything like that. Skill ratio, they pulled the trigger too soon. They backed out too soon and didn't get that clean wipe. And now GSC has protected their SC. They brought him back. They got a kill on a healer, and now the front line and another healer now. Wushu Yang looks like he's trying to go in hard on HP. He gets a war stomp on him, but he's just tanking this damage right now. I think he's got his blink up still. He should be okay. And SR is just dropping like flies.
Yeah, SR sacrificing a lot for that push. Aggressive and valiant, but just not going to get them anywhere at the moment. 4 minutes actually left on the clock total. 14 stacks. There is going to be a kill here. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for a gauntlet call, or one of these teams goes for a gauntlet call right now, and then sends around maybe the 2 Hunters and a Boomy to sort of assassinate the FC. I'm not sure which team is going to try to pull that off, but it seems like GSC is doing something of the sort at the moment.
Yeah. They're trying to save their Boomy right now, who I believe was behind enemy lines a little bit. He's just sitting in mid, trying to pressure a little bit. I don't know what Nature's doing right now. I think they do want to go for a gauntlet. They might go up roof. They might go up to the top of GY. Ezron is behind them at the top of the GY. So this is a do or die, really sticky situation for SR. Dark Chewy at the back, trying to kill EFC, the Hunter. He should be dead. He got 1 tick on his bandage and it broke. So it's pretty much a clean wipe of the offensive force from GSC. Ezron is chilling in the base. Looks like he's going to go up on top of up top of roof. And all of GSC is just kind of hanging out here. They're not really gauntleting. They're not really, they sent a lot up around. I love that they've sent the Warlock around. And it looks like they're just kind of doing a little bit of a half gauntlet above GY. And this is, again, actually maybe not the best play, because now skill ratio gets to execute that strategy once again and push them around. But obviously, based on the way that GSC is positioned here, they do have the opportunity to just run all the way around to the other side of the map. Ezron's still on roof. He's going to drop on them from above, I believe. HB waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. When is he going to commit? Is he going to commit? He does commit. He jumps down. Everyone follows. He blinks. He waited a little bit too long, maybe. All of skill ratio. They have time. Dark Chewy is sitting alone at cap. Boomy's in stealth. The Boomy, obviously, of GSC is in stealth. So there's no one who's really going to go over and kill him. Both Hunters are accounted for. Slick My Love and Maniac are on D, though. So if skill ratio engages this fight. Yeah, but if skill ratio engages this fight, they will not win. They're down 2 healers in mid.
This definitely spells trouble right now. Dark Chewy making his way up to roof at the moment, hoping that some sort of kill comes out on the FC of GSC right now. They're just playing so conservative. Actually, yeah, good call. So Sokka seems to be coming back to mid. They have lost Pizza in mid at the moment. He's just got swapped to. It looks like that happened off screen. I wasn't able to see. But the team of Skill Ratio having to suffer a Boomy loss in mid right now. This is crucial for GSC to kind of continue this push at the moment.
And what started out so dominantly from GSC has turned into a very, very close game. A minute and a half left. Pizza should be coming up any second, and all of GSC is trying to force into Skill Ratio, and they find a kill onto both of the frontliners. And that should be the game, as HB and the rest of GSC will head back to their side of the map.
At 1 minute and 10 seconds, something can still end it. I don't know what. They need a miracle at this point, but the entire team of GSC kind of huddling around their FC at the moment, not letting anything get around. Grizzle is close by. However, he can't do anything. Even though it's 15 stacks, he can't do anything against a group of 10 people like this. So this is sort of, at 50 seconds out, this is kind of just a downward spiral.
Yeah, Grizzle hanging around on the flank, trying to find something, but Pizza getting swapped to in that mid fight there and getting 100-0, that really sealed the deal. That was the end of the game right there, and you can't put blame on really anybody else in that situation but yourself. And they had an opportunity, they had the look, but having two healers back, Nature did a great job of staying in stealth and being a threat by being invisible, and SR was forced to respect that.
Very true. I think SR was definitely forced to respect, that sort of pressure that GSC was putting out, and the sort of positional play that GSC was conducting, and that's kind of been, what I want to know is that's kind of been the case after the first couple mid fights. I would say the first couple mid fights, SR was being conservative, but not really doing too much to the Warlock of GSC, nor diving for it. An interesting call, but I think they suffered a lot for that.
Let's take a look at this damage. An incredible performance by both the Boomy and the Warrior from GSC, putting out 400k from Lucas, 10 killing blows, 0 deaths. Boomy following that up. Obviously, that's Nature. 340k, 6 kills, 0 deaths. And then you follow it down the screen. The only person on the team of GSC with the deaths were the healers and the Hunter once. And I guess Saxon died twice as well. That's true. But if you look at the deaths from skill ratio, obviously 8 deaths on the BM, 5 deaths on the Warrior. Pizza had 3 of his own, and pretty much all the way down the list as well.
8 deaths on a Brewmaster is absolutely brutal. I mean, the story that number sells is basically that, the healers of SR were just having so much trouble dealing with whatever Ren swaps, Chaos Bolts, Fears, whatever they might have been, whatever GSC was putting out. The team of SR was having so much trouble dealing with that that their BM dropped 8 times. That's pretty immense.
If you push up just a little bit too far as that BM, and you pull your healers up, and they're just walking instead of healing, that Chaos Bolt, a Chaos Bolt coming in for 1,400 damage, 1,500 damage. BMs take a little bit extra damage, even though they've got that stagger. He's getting lit by those Chaos Bolts.
It is lit like Yorkie's birthday parties for sure, Muskie. I can guarantee you that.
I've actually never been invited, but
I've usually just sort of snuck in, but he usually never invites me either.
Yeah, the guest list is pretty strict on those.
It's pretty strict. Yeah, it's only some of his some of the ladies of the night that he hires, but that's about it mostly.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So GSC is Alliance this time around. And, the start of that game was so dominant from GSC. It was so easy for them to get that cap the first time around. They had everything coordinated so well. They didn't even care about wiping the guys at the bottom of GY. They just left them. They prevented them from getting back into GY. And it was actually a beautiful sight to see just how well GSC was able to deal with that, even by having 3 healers. They didn't even flinch.
No, yeah, agreed. And I don't know if you saw that, but that first mid fight, I think Lucas got something like 7 Crusaders in over a span of I don't know, maybe a minute. It was just insane. I don't know what sort of luck was on his side. Maybe he just prayed to McCushdaller a couple times beforehand. Maybe just hit the dankest blunt that he could find. It just would have made it happen.
I don't even know how to answer that.
Yeah, just I think both these teams it's a war of memes. They're not even doing anything with Rens or Star Surge's fears. It's just memes. Whoever has the most memes.
Honestly, this game very easily could have gone SR's way. Even though they were, on the
For
back
sure.
foot in mid for a lot of the time, it's not like they were getting hard wiped. They lost their BM, but he would be back by the time that they needed him. And, unfortunately, the Warrior would die shortly after, so they never really had a chance to push out. They need to just react to these Chaos Bolts a little bit better and adjust and adapt and become more adept at healing them. I mean, if they could do that, then this game would, very almost certainly be back to a very close 50-50 instead of maybe a 60-40.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. And I think GSC just did a great job of kind of towards the late game, I think, especially just sort of controlling Grizzle and Ezreon of going around. I think obviously with Pizza too, they were just kind of swapping to him to make sure that he couldn't get any of that, I guess, assassination pressure that he was trying to cause there with his hunters at any given time, basically. So great job just overall by them on kind of controlling the map and sort of making it their own. And I think, to be honest, Muskie, I think they're not going to stray away from that strategy again.
All right, let's see it. Is going to be the second game of GSC taking on Skill Ratio. Priest going deep, getting a super deep charge, actually. He's going to force his healers up very far. First Chaos Bolt's coming out onto that Warrior, I believe. Maybe it's the BM.
Switching into battle stance, actually, he is so ballsy right now. Priest, the Warrior of GSC, switching to battle stance as he gets a double Satyr. That's going to cost him a Boomy death. However, as he's going in so far deep, they need to play a little bit defensive here. SR taking advantage of how aggressive GSC is right now. So this is going to be a major push by SR. They are on the front foot at the moment, trying to pummel in to this team of GSC.
Yeah, Warrior, obviously, the Warrior, Priest, is pushing in so aggressively here, getting those runs up. And if they find a clean wipe, then they might not even need to worry about Chewy at all. He might just be forced to drop the flag here. Chewy is trying to... I'm talking about... I'm confused. My bad. Take over, F.
At the moment, Boomy, the FC of GSC just sort of waiting on the cap. He realizes that his team is suffering in mid, so he's not picking. So that's a good call by him. There's no rush at the moment. Even though Dark Chewy has flag, Chewy must know that, the FC of GSC is waiting in base. So SR actually committing 2 hunters back, 1 hunter up tunnel with the FC to kind of push the EFC over to the ramp, actually. But Grizzle there waiting for him, trapping there. This is definitely going to be an upward battle if HB on that FC decides to kind of cross right now. He's heading up to roof at the moment, Muskie. He's trying to play safe.
So HB was forced to pick the flag. He might actually be forced to drop the flag right now. He might try and kite and meet his team. If you take a look in mid, GSC's starting to push back now. HB does drop and go tunnel. He's actually committed Ezreon all the way up to roof before he jumped. What a play. That never happens. Hunters usually disengage backwards out of the roof, down the ramp and back in a tunnel. And HB actually completely breaks the ankles of Ezreon right there and gets out tunnel for free.
Those prayers have been answered. HP making his way to his team completely uncontested, not even touched, only took fall damage basically, and Pizza going down just as HP crosses out into midfield right there to see it. So this is again in favor of GSC right now. Both flags have been crossed over to the respective sides essentially, but now is the time for stack building.
Yeah, of course, 20% is where we're at right now. And all of GSC is going to be sitting at the tunnel. Let's see what they want to do. They might be taking a play similar to what GSC, or sort of similar to what Skill Ratio has been doing. Pushing out. I want to look at Pizza and see how he handles this. When is he going to call it? Why is he going to call it? All of Skill Ratio drops down here. They are regrouped. And all of GSC turns around back ramp. Pizza wants to go up tunnel. If he can get up tunnel, this will be huge. But I don't think they can. He doesn't have enough time to get his team up there.
Wow, GSC actually choosing to engage. So before they can really even make a decision, I guess, GSC just sort of going on the offensive here, but SR doing a fantastic job of meeting them in midfield, not backing down from this fight at all, staying aggressive. Look at this positioning from these hunters and this Boomkin actually. Even Slick, my love, the priest of SR pushing up, a kill going on to the Boomkin of GSC. Great call by them to go aggressive.
Yeah, HB knows that means it's time to head on out of there, and with it only being 4 stacks, he should be able to. But look at Ezreon cutting completely. He's got his support from ESC. He's trying to push. He's healing the Hunter. But it looks like that Hunter will go down, and HB is now stuck between a rock and a hard place. What is he going to be able to do here? If you take a look at Dark Chewy, he's pretty much cutting the entire side of that roof off, or sorry, that tunnel off as well. HB could drop the flag here if he gets swapped onto. Looks like he's going to start kiting back. 6 stacks is about to hit. If he doesn't make a decision soon, he's going to be pinched. And very quickly, Dark Chewy is actually trying to break off there as well. Grizzle's making the cut. Grizzle is there, and there's the drop by HB.
Great job by them.
Yeah, he's going to...
turned it at the moment.
He's not going to pick that back up. He can't. He might have to go for next here, depending on how his team is able to restabilize, because look at how many are dead from GSC. They just got wiped up, all off of that kill on a Nature, who's in stealth right now, trying to catch up to HB. They may be able to make a play here. Maybe. I would be amazed if HB was able to. It looks like he might just go for next, but skill ratio is going to have to commit a few into base, and by doing so, that opens up the map a lot for GSC. They're actually waiting to clear up all of those in mid first before they actually go for the cap. And because they've got so many of skill ratio on this side right here, they might just sit in the flag room with upwards of 10 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like 7 or 8 people up there, and send Dark Chewy for the repick.
Yeah, actually, the only one crossing right now is Dark Chewy in stealth at the moment. The entire team of GSC kind of on the back foot here, so they're not able to really do anything at the moment. I think this might just be a clean cap, like you said in a few seconds here. Grizzle obviously sort of delaying.
The thing is, Dark Chewy is going for the pick. GSC, like, they could leave a couple people on D here, and they could just deal with Dark Chewy if they wanted to. But he's going to stay in stealth, and they're going to commit across the field. They want to force this cap. It is 0-0 right now. And actually, all of GSC, or all of skill ratio is going up top to roof right now. So it looks like they want to just have a safer gauntlet and hold the flag as long as they can. They're really just playing the clock. We got to see how this plays out. This is actually a fascinating decision because they could easily just go for the cap here and try and reset. Grizzle might do it at the last second. Yeah, there he goes. He drops down, goes for the displace, or the disengage. And I think by doing this, it is going to put them in such an awkward position. Skill ratio is going to be able to cross the entire map outside of GY because they pulled them so far up the tunnel. What a call by Pizza. And they should be able to kite them all down. Keep an eye on Wushu Yang. He's actually really far back. He's not going to be able to slow them. So now, I thought they'd have a better look out here. They don't. They're caught and pinched into GY now. And it's going to be a fresh team fight. Both SCs have the flag. They did not fix this counter cap at all. The only benefit is that Maniac has made it across the field. HB getting hit by Grizzle. He should be A-okay. He'll be met by...
But he's going to meet his priest in tunnel at the moment. So there were, I think, 200s at one point contesting him, but he was able to dodge one, only able to take damage from Grizzle at the moment. So even with that scope proc, it wasn't enough to take him down at 0 stacks, obviously. So I think what we might... Oh, but Dark Chewy is actually in mid right now. He does have a healer with him, so he should be completely fine. But the team of SR is sort of containing GSC completely right now. Or actually the other way around. GSC is completely containing SR in their graveyard. They are not able to meet Chewy currently. So this could be trouble, but Chewy actually making his way back to the enemy base, understanding that he can't safely cross.
Yeah, they have a great wipe on SR. They're split. Maniac has now gone down in mid. So by Chewy trying to push out there and bait, he was hoping he could get Ezra on a Grizzle there and make it a 4v3. But at the end of the day, those two hunters are stuck in the back. And the hunter, or sorry, the FC, Dark Chewy, is stuck on the other side of the map with the flag picked, so he's not going to be able to wait for stacks or just delay stacks. And he's also going to be sitting there just kind of waiting, hoping that his team can get out of GY. Pizza has put himself in stealth. By doing that, he's not going to be able to help his team get out of GY, so it's kind of going to have to be down to him for these objective plays. 11 minutes and 50 seconds left in this game. There's a long time to go.
Exactly, yeah. Like you said, Muskie, there's still plenty of time for both of these teams to make something happen here. Even though SR is ahead 1 cap, they understand that they don't need to rush this at the moment. It's a low stacks, just 3 at the moment. Their team is cornered in the graveyard, so they have no option right here but to kind of stabilize first and wait for the opportune moment. As you can see right now, SR really not even diving out that much. Nick going out with a charge, just trying to get some Ren procs. With Seder, but however, he's sort of staying back to Chaos Ball coming on into Nick, so GSC kind of answering back. They are containing the team of SR right now. They are forced to respect GSC's damage right now, and they are pulling back around the healer hut.
Yeah, Sergeant Pizza's just chilling here. He's in stealth, he's got Zerker, he's not in mid to help his team, and of course that's a huge factor in mid. Having those boomy dots, let alone the Star Surges, is going to be one of those elements that lets you get the kills with both Rot and single target damage. It's honestly the most influential class in mid besides the BM, the Warrior, and next up would be that Boomy.
Having him moving on into Knick-Knack. Oh, the Green Glob of Death. Too much for SR. The front line dropping here. They're going to be delayed on that push out yet again.
Yeah, having that Boomy in mid is not going to do anything for skill ratio. Technically, him being there is biding his team a little bit of time, so they can't push back. They can't push back onto Chewy right now because Pizza's out of stealth, and they know that Ezreon and Grizzle are waiting there. As soon as these two hunters commit one way or another, it's going to be the Boomy opening with Pizza. He's going to help that fight in mid, and you can see now they're all backing out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. ESC almost getting Pizza out of stealth, and he's actually going to get ahead of Pizza right now. So 6 stacks is when they've left mid. Grizzle and Ezreon not able to get by. Those two hunters, or one hunter, still sitting there cutting them. And obviously you see Nature cutting back as well to help. Dark Chewy is now going to be in a very, very tough situation. He's going to have to drop down somewhere. Actually, he should be okay. I don't know why they're only sending one hunter. This actually makes no sense. He should just be able to drop down to Pizza and get helped effortlessly.
No doubt. So I think I'm a little bit confused at the moment. Pizza blowing his displacer to catch up to Dark Chewy right now, understanding that, with those stacks, there's no reason for him to really hold it at the moment. So looks like that one hunter committed back, but I'm not fully sure what the play was there. Mm-hmm. I don't really know what it did to the mid fight either, because everything just kind of seems stable right now. Knick-Knack actually going down, however. Really so GSC pushing out a lot of pressure into skill ratio. Skill ratio having to sort of respect that damage yet again, being forced back into their graveyard a little bit. They're slowly waddling back, trying to range that Warlock damage and the rest of that damage that's coming out right now. So GSC, again, kind of putting SR on the back foot.
Yeah, so actually a really bad call by GSC because they've given up pressure, and then you can see pulling out that Boomy just for the second that they did really did pull them. It made the midfield even again, obviously, because Pizza's still out of the objective fight. They need to commit their Boomy back to D with Double Hunter and the SC, or maybe leave the Boomy in mid and send a healer back, but that's the problem with having 3 healers. You can't afford to give one up. And they've done a great job by keeping Grizzle and Ezreon out, but if both hunters go back, those 2 hunters are going to get across. Especially if it turns into a 2v2, because Pizza can come out of stealth and make it a 2v3. SR pushing out of GY now, trying to make something happen. Here comes the Green Glob of Death, as you've said. Not a full kill on a Nick, but definitely chunks him down, makes him respect that damage. And GSC, without being able to make a play, 10 stacks, and they can't make a play. That's actually incredible. Simply because Pizza was playing in stealth, and those 2 hunters were threatening over to the side. Actually, phenomenal play by skill ratio.
Yeah, and I think one thing to note here is that skill ratio is holding their own in mid with their Boomy missing. So this is kind of pretty intense. They are dropping a few people here and there. However, they're not getting completely wiped. And that's one thing I want to highlight here is that despite whatever minor debts that these people might have on their team, skill ratio is still able to maintain some sort of mid pressure despite that. So that's obviously the mark of a very strong team there.
All right.
GSC having to kind of respect that damage, however,
they're
just trying to do their best.
They're sending the priest up tunnel. Exactly. They're sending the priest up tunnel. They've got 100 with Zerker going up tunnel. ESC, the second, I believe, should go ramp to cut. He's just sitting outside right now, cutting the 2 hunters. Perfect, actually. This is what he needs to do. He needs to prevent those hunters from being able to get any help towards Grizzle and Dark Chewy, or Sergeant Pizza and Dark Chewy. He does a good job at containing them. The Boomy's there now, too, so he'll be able to rot them. Keep an eye out for Sokka or somebody else. Maniac is the one who's splitting over there, trying to meet Sergeant Pizza, who's picked the flag. He's going to get healed by Dark Chewy. He's going to get met by his hunters, but they're still going to be in a very sticky situation here, as all of GSC is still alive. Everyone's running back into the corner here.
Oh, he's so close to dying. He's going to drop, actually, but Ezreon picking up the flag, getting dropped immediately. EFC, the hunter for GSC, returning that flag immediately, and I believe that's going to be a cap there at 6 minutes and 46 seconds.
Yeah, so HB has capped the flag, capitalizing on the just fantastic play by the hunters to answer back what skill ratio is doing. They handle it expertly. Dark Chewy is going roof. He's going to go for the pick, and hopefully they can find a quick cap. If you take a look in mid, however, it is skill ratio who's getting pushed back to the GY, not GSC.
Exactly, and Chewy not even stealthing right now, outranging that hunter that's chasing him at the moment, trying to go for a flag pick as soon as he's healthy enough to do so. He's sitting at about 86% at the moment, going into stealth, so I'm pretty sure anytime now he might go for a pick. Let's look at the GSC side. GSC is pushing up as hard as they can, trying to make sure that they have the safest pick possible, this late in the game.
All right, Pizza resing, Blur's resing in just a second. Dark Chewy waiting for the stacks. Doesn't want to pick it this time. Just going to hold out.
Yeah, I think he's just going to wait for his team to kind of push out. So as you said, pizza is up, the cheese is on top. They're just going to wait here until they can actually get a decent push out, and Dark Chewy's not going to risk it.
And once again, we see GSC coming back to bring this game into their favor. Knick-Knack pushing out very, very hard onto that Warlock. I think he's got his Goblin jump. It gets rooted, though. The Lust comes out onto him. He's just getting tunneled, though, and by doing this, it allows Lucas and Saxon to just pummel into that backline, get all those Rens out, and if they don't score a kill quickly, then they're going to start rotting and get a lot of pressure out from those Rens, and you can see that's exactly what's starting to happen. The turnaround comes back onto Ezron. He's the first target right now. Pops his trinket, pops his his Battlemaster trinket. BM still getting targeted. Of course, that's the Shaman. And looks like GSC is pretty much okay here. And Grizzle is going to go down in the back line. Wasn't able to meet his healers just in time.
Exactly. I think he was trying to make a break across, maybe to make some sort of flank play, actually, because I see Ezron sort of doing some sort of the same thing. He's in mid now, actually, just sort of in the team fight, getting rendered at the moment by the team of GSC. But they were going for some sort of play at the moment. It's only 10%, though, so I think at the most they were just going for racials. But right now, the team of GSC sort of suffering some damage in mid, but nothing going down at the moment. They are getting slowly pushed back into their graveyard, respecting the damage that's coming out from skill ratio. Even though the warrior of skill ratio is dead, they can still put out a tremendous amount of pressure right now. SR obviously realizing that they can't sustain this for too long, so they're also going to back up a little bit. So we have a little bit of a standoff in mid.
Dark Chewy has had a Ren placed on him, and Lucas has actually put Rens into the entire team without getting touched. Now he's starting to get felt. And Wushu Yang might get caught with an execute. There is the Chaos Bolt, but not quite there in time. And it looks like once again Lucas will push into those healers, and they might find a clean wipe onto SR here.
Agreed, and the Warlock of GSC sort of pushing up as hard as he can to send out those Chaos Bolts to put this team entirely in mid, just back into the graveyard so that they can make some sort of play here. Just to clarify, GSC is up 1 cap at the moment, so it's 1-1, but GSC cap last, so obviously they are technically ahead right now. I want to note that Grizzle is making a break across the ramp right now, the Alliance ramp, trying to make a beeline for the FC. A Hunter trying to cut him across, but he is just so far, just a little bit ahead. Actually, the Hunter might just be able to catch up. He's doing his best to range it. Grizzle just making a beeline to the FC. This could be a kill soon,
it's
even though it's low stacks.
Yeah, it's 4 stacks. He's got travel form. He should be able to heal through this with the help from that other Hunter. Unless he sets up for a War Stomp here, Grizzle goes for the Stomp and actually needs to drop and commit back. Yeah, and SR actually did have an advantage there as Shaman the Priest was dead, but an opportune res means that HP will be topped as well. Dark Chewy heading all the way back to cap. He's alone. He knows this is the one chance for skill ratio. Grizzle has gone down. Maniac's out of mana, and they're actually getting pushed back again. BM has just res, so now it's going to get even worse. Knick-Knack goes down. Wushu Yang is the next target. He's about to go down. And if he does, that would be all she wrote for skill ratio.
Those bear charge roots are so much pressure for this front line right now. The Warlock just gets so much uptime just because of that. They're coordinating that really well. Right now, the team of GSC has wiped the front line of skill ratio fairly hard. So right now, they are just kind of on the front foot at the moment. SR trying to do something to stabilize. Wushu is not up for a little bit though, so this is going to spell trouble at 2 minutes. 6 stacks at the moment. Damage could be put out onto the FC, enough to kill him. But Sokka on that Slick My Love, the Priest actually going down on the ramp. So again, they're just going to get pushed back and delayed on that FC push.
Yeah, they do still have three healers in mid though, so they're trying to push up. Skill ratio is not done yet. Look at Saxon going in deep here, trying to get a lot of damage out. So is the Warrior from GSC. They're trying to gain control of this mid-fight once again because skill ratio pushed up so far. And good night, Repulse. You will be going down as well. Pizza trying to help Grizzle over the side, trying to make a cut. But once again, ESC doing such a good job of just cutting all these guys, trying to get by to contain HP.
Yeah, 1 minute, 28 seconds left. Green Globs of Death still going out. Maniac dropping. Wushu Yang about to drop. Repulse dropping. Knick-Knack about to drop and follow his teammates as well. I think, like you said, Muskie, this should be it unless HB goes full-on HB After Dark and memes it up and displaces right into the enemy team. I think this is going to be a GSC victory.
Yep. Pizza is doing some parkour over in the corner, trying to get a re-stealth. Yeah, man, 1 minute left, and that's going to be the 2-0 for GSC.
Wow. Wow, 2-0 for GSC. Skill ratio was so far up. Not necessarily far up, but they were just doing so well at the beginning of the game. What do you think was the downturn? Why did GSC get that cap, Muskie?
It had to do with when they went roof. They brought everyone up roof and then basically put themselves into GY. They didn't get around GSC. They kept trying to reset the fight and put themselves in a position where they could reset the fight and engage, but it just never ever worked. They just always lost that battle, and they suffered for it. They just could not beat GSC in mid, and every time they tried to regroup and do it again, they just never could get the footing that was necessary to take it all the way.
Yep, and the unbreakable gauntlet kind of set up right here. 4 seconds left. The team of SO trying to do their best, but just nothing going to be able to go out. That's going to be a GSC win, everybody. That's a 2-0 to GSC.
Yeah, 34k damage coming out from Lucas this time, and 21k coming out from Nature on that Boomy. Not quite as devastating as it was last time. 12 killing blows for Lucas, 1 death, 2 for Nature. Lucas just absolutely dominating this game. But really, big shout-outs to the Hunters, and big shout-outs to HB for playing that game